Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week wanted to kind of pull back a little bit and kind of look at things from a 10,000 foot view to start, and then we'll kind of dive a little bit deeper in towards the end of the episode. But I wanted to, kind of get on the same page, or at least maybe give a reminder as to why you started a business in the first place. And, this is obviously assuming that you are a solo or small firm owner. Maybe you work in a solo or small firm, who knows? But or maybe you're even thinking about opening your own business, whatever the case may be. And a lot of times, people will start a business and all of a sudden they will quickly be playing catch up, and they're working 60, 80 hours a week. They're struggling to make payroll or struggling to pay bills, or, they have cash flow peaks and valleys going on, whatever the case is. And it becomes no different than what you were doing when you were working for someone else. The only main difference is that you technically have the freedom of being your own boss, but when you're still working 80 hours a week, you're not seeing any of the benefits that you would have otherwise had for starting a business. You probably are just better off working for someone else. But the real reason that you started a business, or maybe the reason that you should, or the reasons to look at how you are running your own business, is just kind of what I said. It's you having that freedom to ultimately dictate the lifestyle, the life that you want to live. So, me personally, I'm not a business owner, but I hang out with a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurial minded people. And what I have gathered is that all of them are not satisfied with just getting to a certain number. They are interested in growing as much as they can. They do realize that there's, realistically, there's a plateau somewhere, there's a peak somewhere, but they're going to keep going until they get there, until they hit it, or until they sell their business and cash out and go live and retire in Hawaii somewhere. So that's kind of the first obstacle, is if you're running your own firm, is not being in a place where you're constantly just trying to make payroll or trying to just get one more client through the door so you can make sure that all your taxes are paid, all your expenses are paid, and all of that. No, what you want to get to is somewhere where maybe you start hiring people to do work for you. So you're not as involved in the day-to-day, so you have more freedom maybe to pursue other entrepreneurial pursuits, or whatever the case is. Or maybe, and so whatever that revenue number is, that's where you get to. And then you get to another revenue number, and then you get to another one until you ultimately either sell or you just have enough people hired that you can take a salary, or you can take your distributions, whatever the case is, and you have to do nothing. That's the goal, is to just have all of that passive income coming in to where you're almost like a real estate investor, where you're running a bunch of properties, you're collecting money, you're not doing anything. You're just waking up every day doing whatever it is you want to do. That's the goal, right? Is to earn more money and to work less, doing it. And that's kind of the sweet spot. And that's at least where we as a marketing company want to help you get to, is at least to the point where you are taking just the cases that you want to take, that you are still making just as much money, if not more, than what you were doing taking every case you possibly could, and working fewer hours doing it. So from a marketing perspective, that's why we preach, having a consistent marketing strategy in place, having some sort of automated marketing system going on in the background that other people are handling for you, so that while you are in court for a week, or while you are working on another case, you still have leads coming in, that you still have clients and work coming in that you can then move to after the trial is over, after whatever the case you're working on is over and paid out, whatever it is. And that's where a lot of small firm owners get into trouble, is they get that big case and everything else stops because they just have to concentrate on this one case. And then when it's over, then you have that freak out moment where, oh God, I don't have anything else going on right now. And you are not only starting over, but now you're in this whole uncertain world where you don't know where your next case is going to come from. And that's that stress that you don't need in your life, especially as a business owner when you have a lot to deal with, a lot to juggle. So that's why we say delegate all of your non-legal work, right? Do whatever you can to free up as many billable hours as you can so that you're always focusing on your legal work, always focusing on the work that you want to do. All right. And then that way your marketing and even your bookkeeping, your receptionist, all that kind of stuff is working in the background, working without you, keeping things moving for you while you are doing the main job of your firm. And with the marketing component, it's why we preach that content strategy, and at least laying the foundation for your marketing strategy with good educational, evergreen, informative content, because that's what elevates your credibility. That's what positions you as the go-to expert, as the business attorney in your city, as the bankruptcy attorney, family law attorney, whatever it is you're doing. And from there, all right, you're being seen as the expert. You are then well within your rights and well within expectations to charge the rates of a premium high-level attorney. All right. You don't have to be famous in order to do that. You don't have to make regular appearances on Fox News or CNN as a consultant or as a talking head or whatever. You don't have to have all of that. That stuff helps, sure, but you don't need all of that. You just need to keep putting out content. And maybe those opportunities will come when media outlets see you as the expert, and then it just snowballs from there. But start with the content, start with your audience. They'll see you as the expert. Those referrals, they're going to trust you more, and you have those consistent touch points. All of that, all of the stuff that we've been teaching and preaching so far, that's what's going to allow you to raise your rates. And outside of attorneys not knowing exactly what their rate should be to begin with, and maybe just arbitrarily raising it, as just like inflation or cost of service or whatever on a yearly or bi-yearly basis or whatever. No, like whatever your rate is, decide what you really are worth and work to get there. You don't have to double your rates overnight, but incrementally increase them, especially as more business comes in. And then you get to that point where you're charging, whatever, $750 an hour, $1,000 an hour, $1,500 an hour. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you live. I don't know what the going rate is. But then at that point, like the initial kickback that we often hear from that is, well, what if no one wants to hire me at that rate? Or what if I don't hire as many people at that rate? That's fine. Because even if you double your rate and your work, your number of clients is cut in half, you're still making the same amount of money, all right? You're still just as profitable as you were down at the lower rate. But guess what? You have way more capacity. You have way more free time to then pursue other things, whether that's working on your firm instead of in it, improving internal processes. Maybe you're opening another office in another city, you're hiring other associates, whatever the case is. You have the time to now do that when you probably didn't at the lower rate and had twice as many cases coming in. So that's the first part. All right. But then figure out what revenue number, what profit percentage you need to feel comfortable, and go for that first. And you can always adjust these goals later. But I think a lot of attorneys lose sight of what they need to do to get to that freedom that a lot of you guys wanted when you initially started your business. And at least from us, the marketing is a huge part of that, and having that ongoing, marketing system, that marketing strategy in place that's going to keep working while you are busy doing your legal work, that is working to keep positioning you as the expert, to keep elevating that credibility, keep doing all of that, keep working on those goals, those growth goals for you, so that over time you can continue to raise your rates, charge that premium amount. And again, even if the actual number of people through the door doesn't increase at the same rate your rates do, that's fine. All right. If you end up making less revenue, all right, there's an issue there that you have to address. All right. Maybe you're charging too much. But and that's the key, if the number of clients, at least in terms of a ratio and percentage, stays consistent as you raise your rates, you're going to be fine. That's it. So marketing helps, all right? Delegating all of the non-legal work stuff. And even then, get some paralegals, get some associate attorneys to do the aspects of the cases that you don't particularly like doing. If you just enjoy going to court, get people to handle everything else up to the point where you're going to court. All right? Get to a place, and that's where the marketing helps. That's where other vendors like receptionist services, bookkeeping services, all of that helps. And if you're looking for help and recommendations on other vendors that you can have, and look, if you want an SEO vendor, I've got some for you. I would hope that your marketing strategy is based in content first, because that's going to help the SEO stuff work better. But look, if you need recommendations on other vendors, I've got a list that I can refer you to who can help you out with reception, with, some bookkeeping, with some, pay-per-click ads, whatever it is. And from there, just keep working towards that goal. Get to the point where you can work a normal 40-hour work week, and then look for ways to then maybe cut some of those hours out. Maybe you're, raising your rates. Maybe you're hiring some more staff to take care of some stuff. Get to a place where you can then work on your firm instead of always in it. And the possibilities are absolutely endless. So I hope that was a good reminder for you guys to just, I know being an entrepreneur, being a business owner is incredibly stressful. It's incredibly hard work, especially in the legal industry, when just lawyers in general have higher, issues with mental health and all of that. And so, hopefully this was helpful. If you do need some extra resources from me, or you have some questions about maybe what you're doing in your firm, whatever the case is, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to chat with you. You can email me at John, JOHN, @spotlightbranding.com. And I'm happy, again, to always talk about whatever you have going on with your law firm, and at least point you in some direction if I don't have an answer for you. So that's going to do it for us this week. Continue to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Also continue to check out Center Stage. I think we're over 20, 25 episodes at this point this year. So a lot of great conversations. I have a lot of great guests lined up. And it's always some good insight and good perspective that I know that attorneys and other business owners out there do appreciate. So check that show out as well. It's in the same place that you're listening to this show right now. Just search for Center Stage and you should be able to find it. So again, that's going to do it for this week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.